From a literal 12-year-old farming people in Immortal to someone getting 162 kills in one comp game, here are Valorant's 50 most incredible world records out there. Up first, we have the most impressive feat ever seen in Valorant. A 12-year-old has managed to not only hit Immortal, but peak at 349 RR, which is only 100 off the bare minimum RR for Radiant. Thunder Meow is definitely someone to look out for in the next few years. The first person known for getting a lot of kills in Valorant was Tenz, and in this game he managed to drop 33 kills to win, but that's not what's special here. This was the game that crowned Tenz as Valorant's very first Radiant. While the rank was still called Valorant then, but he was the first regardless. However, a lot of people have hit Radiant since then. A content creator named Root wanted to take it a step further. He managed to speedrun from Iron 1 to Radiant in only 74 hours. That's only slightly over 3 days that it took him to do that. I've known people who have been hard stuck for years. Getting to Radiant is hard, but getting to Immortal is already hard enough in Valorant. However, Joel's managed to do it using abilities only. When you factor in it was with Chamber, things start to make a bit more sense, but it's still impressive nonetheless. Can you believe someone made it to Immortal only using a shorty though? Dr. Freeze pulled this off over the course of 3 months using a combination of Omen and the shorty, and I can promise you some of those games cannot have been fun. Someone who's pretty much only hitting heads is the Twitch streamer Knights1x, boasting a 42% headshot with 228 games in Radiant this act. Clearly, this guy plays a lot of aim trainers. You might think that dropping over 30 kills in a game without winning feels pretty bad, while Twitch streamer Hellion TV did over 5x that just for a draw, ending with 162 kills in a 44-round competitive game. This is the most amount of kills in a comp game ever. Hitting Immortal at 12 is impressive, but did you know that a player named Ion2x managed to hit Radiant at only 13 years old? I mean, he was literally farming the whole Sentinels roster at 13. If that's not impressive, then I don't know what is. Things get even crazier though. What if I told you the #1 Radiant in EU for a period of time was actually 14 years old, going by the name Darkzio? There's truly some young prodigies in Valorant. And if you want to record your world records in the future, you can with u.gg. This app will record your highlights after every round with their in-game round highlights. And it has live stats updates, including during agent select and the loading screen. You can also check the agent tier list, which shows you the win rates for each agent in each rank. You can also find the best defender pistol spots on split or the best first blood spots on bind with the first 5 seconds / 10 seconds filter. This app has everything from player scouting to highlights recording to showing you the best spots on every map. So what are you waiting for? Download the u.gg Valorant app from the link in the pinned comment or description to enjoy better data and insights today. Now let's get right back to the video. Getting 26 kills in just 1 minute during a deathmatch is pretty impressive too though. Draco 2 was on a tear this deathmatch and actually set the world record in this one. Someone who wasn't on a tear though was Shroud. When he filled in for Sentinels versus the guard, he died while planting the spike 6 different times during the series. The most someone's team has ever let them die while planting the spike. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever done the parkour challenge in the range, but there's a group of people who really got into speedrunning it. And Takina is the world record holder at 29.85 seconds. The parkour challenge isn't the only speedrun in Valorant though. Content creator Eggwick holds the record for shortest deathmatch ever, lasting only 3 minutes and 25 seconds and being called a cheater along the way. We've also gone on long kill streaks in deathmatch, but have you ever seen someone go 40-0? Mizera holds the record for being the first person to go 40-0 in a deathmatch. This next one's less about kills and more about assists. Content creator Malachi managed to get 157 assists in a single game of Valorant. Their strategy consisted of Viper mauling their whole team and using Sky to heal them back up. That way, every kill his team got would count as an assist. During 2021, there was one professional team who simply could not lose. Vision Strikers was on a 104 game winning streak without a single loss. They did eventually take their first loss at Valorant Challengers Korea to F4Q, making their official winning streak 104 wins and 4 draws. Up next, we have the fastest Valorant retake. In just 5 seconds, Ray4C and his teammate managed to bring a 2v5 retake into their favor and win the round. Now, some people who play Valorant are probably sitting between the levels 100 to 300, but have you ever seen someone who's level 1000? Well, there's actually someone who's even higher than that. His name is Getrex, and he's currently sitting at level 1556. He is the highest level Valorant player and has the most wins and kills out of anybody on Valorant at the moment. It's Timmy holds the world record for the fastest kill in Valorant history. He killed the enemy Raze the second the barrier went down. Tenz and other Sentinels members managed to play the fastest team deathmatch ever. In just under 3.5 minutes, they got 100 kills to end the TDM. You can even hear him talking about how it's going to be a record. Kimmy made history with his Marshall to Immortal series. He was the first person to make using a gun to a certain rank popular, and he's the only one who's done the Marshall to Immortal in a timely manner, so that record is all his. You guys might have gotten an ace before, or maybe even 2 in one game, but have you ever seen someone get 4 back-to-back? Nivotical managed to do this and was lucky enough to record it all. Imagine the adrenaline. I can't imagine this record will be broken anytime soon though. With Team Deathmatch's release, some pro players have been competing for the highest overkill possible, and Kesnet holds the record at 20. Getting 20 kills in a row with a ghost in TDM as Reyna is no easy challenge, but PRX something was up for it. He also managed to get a 20x overkill in TDM, but he was using jet knives, making them seem to almost instantly refresh. We'll call them tied on this record for now. If you thought Root's speedrun to Radiant earlier was impressive, then Nosies took it to a whole other level. He speedran going from Iron to Radiant with just Breach and maybe a game or 2 of Yoru, but he managed to do it in just 92 games. Speaking of Radiance, FPS Deny owns the kill record for the highest amount of kills in a Radiant lobby. Sitting at 59 kills in a single game, this one isn't going to be broken for a while. The next record goes out to PRX Buzz for this incredible flash dodge. Even Tenz was shocked by it. He did this in literal milliseconds. Have you ever gotten multiple knife kills in a single game and thought that was a lot? Well, content creator Joel's managed to get 27 knife kills in a single comp game. Try beating that one. We talked about the highest overkills ever in Team Deathmatch earlier, but what about regular Deathmatch? Redox Val managed to get a 11x overkill in a deathmatch a little over 2 years ago, so it seems like that record is here to stay. Up next, we have the most chaotic Valorant round of all time. This round was between EG and PRX, and I mean, I don't even think I have to explain this one. Just take a look for yourself. Now, if you have ever felt like you played a long Valorant match, just take a look at what this guy went through. A 52 round game sounds absolutely torturous. I could only imagine how long this game felt, but at least they came out with the win in the end. However, the longest professional match ever comes from a game played between Gen G and TSM. Valorant actually wasn't capable of hosting games this long at the time. It wasn't designed to. The server actually had to be restarted so that the game could go on longer. This had never happened before, and the final score was 23-21 TSM win. While we're on the topic of VCT, the most amount of kills ever gotten during a single map of VCT belongs to Aspaz with 47 kills, which is the highest in VCT history, and only happened just over a month ago, making this one a hard one to break. That's not the only VCT kill record that's been broken recently though. Texture just broke the overall kill record for a series with 105 kills over a best of 5 against PRX. He averaged 21 kills over 5 maps just to lose in the end. This is still a crazy kill record regardless. Have you ever shot the damage bot in the range and wondered if there was a cap? Well, this player was the first person to hit the cap, and here's what happened. Aspaz's kill record was pretty impressive, but there's actually a player who got even more kills than that in a professional match, and he goes by the name Silent. Playing for Pieto Esports and up against RD Esports, he managed to drop 52 kills in a single game. Now, we all know that the 52 round game from earlier probably went on for at least 2 hours, but how long can a Valorant game actually go on for? Thankfully, a content creator by the name of Focus did the experimenting for us, and it turns out that the game can actually just go on forever. At around 200, if every second was played out, it would take about 9 hours to play. I doubt we'll ever see a game go that far though. Up next, Sinatra actually set the world record for the fastest kill ever. He killed Governor through the garage on Haven within milliseconds of the round starting. This would be pretty tilting if it happened to me. Valorant games can last pretty long, but YouTuber Trash Trip decided to see how short a game can really be. He and his friends chose all the damage dealing agents and killed themselves immediately at the start of every round until they could surrender. This entire game took only 2 minutes and 41 seconds. We've seen a few Immortal speedruns, but Royal G comes in as the first person to ever hit Immortal 3 using only a Sheriff. And he's not just aiming for that, he's planning to go the whole way to Radiant. Something even more impressive than using a Sheriff to get to Immortal 3 is using a Classic to get to Immortal. And that was also something done by none other than Royal G. This man can do everything apparently. There's been quite a few kill records so far, but the TDM kill record belongs to the Twitch streamer OneFrog1. He managed to get 100 kills in a single TDM and record the whole thing. We talked about Dr. Freeze a bit earlier, but did you know that he also got to Immortal using only a frenzy? This and the shorty are definitely two of the most difficult weapons to use while ranking up to Immortal. Up next, we have another world record being broken by Trash Trip. He managed to get 60 kills in an escalation, beating out the previous record by 11 kills. So he's pretty comfortably in the lead on that one. Those aren't the only world records Trash Trip holds though. He also holds the world record for the longest kill in Valorant at 93 meters. Tenz is known for a lot of things, and having the best aim in the world is one of them. With this clip, it's pretty undisputed that Tenz holds the world record for the nastiest flicks we've ever seen in Valorant. We talked about Vision Striker's win streak earlier, but what's the longest win streak in ranked? The highest win streak you can find online is Curry's 30 straight win streak while MVPing every game in Immortal on his EU to Radiant speedrun. Even though he was smurfing, this is still pretty insane. Up next, we have the fastest ace of all time. In just under 3 seconds, the entire enemy team has been evaporated into thin air. The Radiant leaderboard has a number of people with over 1,000 RR every act, but have you ever wondered what the highest RR recorded was? Well, Cody managed to set the record at 1351 RR over a year ago. We've all had high KD games in Valorant, but someone by the name of Stixels was able to have a 36 KD game where he dropped 36 kills with 1 death. This is the highest KD I could find, and I'm pretty sure he holds the record for it. With VCT events having massive prize pools, you might start to wonder who actually won the most, and the answer to that question is Ethan. Formerly a CS pro, he's got a lot of prize earnings, but in Valorant, it's estimated he's earned approximately $288,000. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe.